Day breaks in Addis Ababa. Children are on their way to the sports camp. Stefan Ziele is expecting them. Ziele is leader of Sport the Bridge, an association from Switzerland whose goal it is to re-socialise street children in Addis Ababa. For 5 months, Sport the Bridge has taken care of street children here. In 1 year, the ambitious plan is to hand the project over to the Ethiopians. 12-year-old Addis is one of these children. After an argument in the family, he was banished by his mother. Since that time, Addis has lived on the streets and regularly uses drugs such as hashish, gasoline and chad, a local drug.
The kids return every morning with their own personal stories from the streets. It's very moving.
Do the kids always come back each morning?
Most of the time the kids come back. The kids that do return are the ones that really want to escape from the streets.
Addis Ababa is the capital of Ethiopia. No one really knows, but it's estimated that the population is about 3.5 million. Unemployment in Addis Ababa is approximately 60%. The fact that children are on the streets is more normal than exceptional. And here they live alone, considered by nobody and literally with nothing. Back in the Sport the Bridge camp. Here, Addis gets his meals 3 times a day. At least food is not a worry for the moment. Addis is a charismatic boy, a survivor. He draws people under his spell, and the other children of the group listen to him. Also from this group, Mulugeta, the 7-year-old brother of Addis. With his friends, Addis built a plastic hut close by. Here they spend the nights, taking shelter from the rain and cold. There are usually 10 children here, but sometimes there can be as many as 20. Sport the Bridge searched and found Ailu, the mother of Addis and Mulugeta. Ailu operates now as an auxiliary worker for the project and earns enough to keep her family. In the morning and in the afternoon, the children each have sports instruction for 1.5 hours, including football, basketball, volleyball and gymnastics. Sport the Bridge is not a school in the traditional sense, and not a sports school either. It's not about talent. Sport has another value.
It's more than just a sport. It's a bridge between cultures and individuals. I can barely speak their language, so we communicate through sport. When we play, we're not talking, but we're communicating. This is the bridge of which I speak.
Getting the children back with their families worries Simona Frey. With a female interpreter, she tries to obtain the personal history of each of them. She verifies the statements made by the children and registers them with the authorities. Then the search for their mothers begins. Usually it ends in the ghetto or in the streets. With Liliana, Simona visits Ailu, Addis and Mulugeta's mother. Liliana is an assistant and will take over from Simona when the project changes to Ethiopian hands. Owing to the work with Sport the Bridge, Ailu found a home again. Here she lives with Mulugeta and Solomon, the youngest one. Ailu's sons have different fathers. They've either died or never been concerned about their children. The violence and the poverty in her life numbed Ailu. She had completely given up for herself and her children. Simona Fry takes care of her. She's looking for possibilities to make an independent life. She knows that when and only when she has the confidence of Ailu can she bring her children in from the streets.
Ich denke, sie hat sehr viel Würde zurück für sich selber gewonnen. Sie ist nicht mehr.
She has won back all of the self-esteem lost when she was begging in the streets.
Sie hat sich erhoben, sie ist aktiv geworden. Und natürlich ist es keine.
She's rid herself of her lethargy and is now taking an active role within the camp. It's not a big step for her future, but it is one way to help her on her way.
Ihr Leben wieder im Griff zu bekommen.
Hygiene, another major part of the project. Not only personal hygiene, but the children's clothes must be regularly washed. Lice and other carriers of diseases are eliminated this way. Since the beginning of April, 16 girls have joined the project. One, 16-year-old Mesere, had to tell a white lie to become a part of it. She had to pass as being 3 years younger because children are accepted up to 14 only. For Mesere, Sport the Bridge found her a place in a home. Here she feels protected from the gangs of which she was once a member. Mesere has lived a life of prostitution and been raped. She used all of her courage to escape. Today, Mesere is so glad that she did. I'm glad that I am away from the streets. But it was difficult. I had setbacks again and again. I took drugs and other bad things happened that I do not want to talk about now. Based upon the advice from Sport the Bridge, Mesere found a place in the Public Evening Institute. Mesere comes here every evening for 2 hours of instruction. She's made great progress and the teachers are inspired by her eagerness. When children come to Sport the Bridge, only a few have shoes. Most have lived all of their lives barefoot. Their feet are in bad condition, with many corns and cuts. Anemia, diarrhea and respiratory illness are just some of the diseases carried by the children from the streets.